Good morning, friends, and welcome back to another day in the kitchen here on Blue Jay Acres. So this morning we are going to make some yogurt. Now this takes a couple days to make. So we're gonna start though, I'm using raw milk. I'm gonna give it a shake so all that good cream gets all mixed through, because I am gonna heat a couple cups of this in my Instapot. So here I'm just pushing the saute button. And I'm gonna do 2 cups of our fresh milk in the Instapot. And then I'm gonna use 2.5 tablespoons of gelatin. This is, I'm using right now Trim Healthy Mama gelatin. I also like Azure Standard gelatin. But I'm gonna sprinkle in 2.5 tablespoons. And I'm just gonna use my little frother here. I just wanna really kind of mix that in. I think that works pretty good. But you can use whatever, just spoon, stir it in if you want. I'm just trying to break up any clumps of it. And I'm gonna let this heat up so that this can all dissolve. Now the one thing about yogurt is it's very easy, and it takes 2 days, but it's very hands-off. So even though it takes 2 days to make raw milk yogurt, it's still really easy. Now I'm going to switch to a spoon, and this is just going to warm up so that that can all get nice and dissolved in here, so I don't have chunky yogurt. And this helps to thicken it up, because raw milk yogurt doesn't thicken up really good by itself. And you can't just use store-bought yogurt because it doesn't set up right. So we're going to let that get nice and dissolved. And then what I'm using the culture is this yogurt culture. And this is only 1 tablespoon or 1 teaspoon in this whole thing, and it's about $12. But you only use 1/16 of a teaspoon. So this makes 16. It makes about 3/4 of a gallon once it's all said and done, and I'm putting a gallon of raw milk in here. So that's 16 of these for $12, which isn't bad at all. And I found that this lasts us 2 weeks to do the 1 gallon. So I'm just gonna stir this, make sure it's all good and dissolved in there. Now this is an Instapot. It's one that I've actually had forever, but I'm only using it for yogurt and milk. When I got my Instapot, years ago, I also had gotten my mother one, and she is terrified. So she didn't even take it out of the box. She just said, nope, you take it back. I'm not doing it. So I just put it up on a shelf, and I've had it forever. The box is all faded and everything when I pulled it out. And I was like, but it's perfect for only doing yogurt and milk stuff, because the seal gets the flavor of meats and things that you cook. And for us, the only thing I mostly use my other Instapot for is for making homemade refried beans and for steaming potatoes. That's really all I use it for. And now bone broth, and bone broth. So all of those smells and tastes would be in the yogurt. So that's why I just have its own little Instapot. But that's not needed. It's just what I'm doing. And then this leaves a beautiful cream on top. So I'll share that with you tomorrow. Well, day after tomorrow, when we actually take it out of the fridge and it's ready to eat. It will, make this beautiful cream on top that you can stir in, or we use it as sour cream. And it is so yummy and thick, and it's just delicious. And that's what we use for sour cream. So this is gonna give us yogurt and sour cream, because all the cream in the raw milk rises to the top. All right, I think that's pretty good. So now, I'm gonna hit the yogurt button, but I'm gonna hit the yogurt button for 24 hours because I want this to ferment for 24 hours. And I'm gonna go on and add all of my milk here, the rest of all my milk. And I'm gonna add my yogurt culture. So I'm just gonna stir that in there because I want to get that culture off. Give this a really good stir, get that all in there. Then I just put the lid on and I'm done. In 24 hours, this will sit for 24 hours. And then when it's done, I'm gonna take it out of here and put it in the fridge without touching it for 24 hours. Just cover it and put it in the fridge. And then it's ready to eat. So all in all, it takes 48 hours. Alright, so today we are going to start off by making a Dutch baby pancakes for breakfast. So I'm going to start by preheating my oven to 400 degrees. And I'm going to melt 6 tablespoons of butter while the oven is preheating. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crack 8 eggs. Let's drop a shell in it. And I'm just going to beat these. To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of lukewarm milk, a pinch of salt, about a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to add in some vanilla and a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm just going to mix that all together. Then I'm going to sift in 1 cup of flour. And I'm going to pull this brown butter out. I'm just going to kind of stir it around. I just want to make sure it's all nice and covered in here. Then I'm going to pour in the batter, and we're going to bake this at 400 for about 20 minutes. really good. Well, that's it. I'm just going to put this back in the oven. Alright, so here is today's breakfast. It is the Dutch baby pancake, sausage, and some fresh squeezed orange juice. Alright, so for lunch today we are just going to be doing leftovers. I did not have enough meat, though, leftovers for everybody, so this is a great time. Charles and I like to do fish because we like fish. And it is already 2:30 and we're doing a late lunch, so we're just going to do a little bit. He already ate his mashed potatoes, and then I have sweet potatoes as well. So it was kind of clean out the fridge day. We had some leftover beef stew, there was leftover steak and meatloaf and different things that we've had throughout the week. So we are going to have this for lunch. I'm just going to do some olive oil and some butter. That's how I like to do our shrimp. For just a fast, easy shrimp. And I'm going to just go on and add the shrimp in here. And we like ours really simple with just some Old Bay seasoning. And this is it for a quick fast. Quick fast lunch. And then I'm not even going to dirty more dishes. He was just eating in a leftover container. The mashed potatoes, I'll put his shrimp is right into that container. And I'm going to put mine in the container right here with my sweet potatoes. And that's it. The sweet potatoes came from our garden, which they are very tasty. I've been very happy with those. Alright, again, here is Charles's. As you can see, he ate all his mashed potatoes already. And he said there was the tiniest bit left of meatloaf. They'd had that too. But we'll eat dinner in a few hours. So this is really just a small lunch. I'm just trying to get these browned a little bit more. All right, hon, here's your shrimp. I'm just going to pour some out of my. I thought I'd share with you something else I've been doing. So this is what my fridge looks like. It is pretty empty. I do have Azure stuff coming here. And then the sides. I mean, our fridge stays pretty empty. There is a few condiments down here I am weeding out. But that is, right now, it's just olives and pickles. And I have some better lemon juice coming, but just in case I need it, I've got that one. And some miso and yeast down there. But as you can see, we have very little fresh produce right now. But I have plenty of frozen here in my fridge. I mean, in my freezer. This is some homemade ice cream we made. You guys, it's so good. I am going to pull this turkey broth out of my freezer, though, because I'm going to make a turkey and rice soup tonight for dinner. With everybody still feeling under the weather. But yeah, that's very simply what it looks like. But something I wanted to show you guys that I started doing is pulling meat out. And this is kind of like my only way of meal prepping. Is I have chicken out, fish out, beef out, and pork out. And that way I can just come in and see what is already defrosted. Like the whole chicken takes a lot longer to defrost, obviously, than fish. So this fish is ready to go. So I really need to do fish tomorrow. We did do the shrimp already today. And tomorrow I need to get all this fish, so we'll be having that tomorrow. And just as things thaw, that's what I grab, and that's kind of what I'm making for meals. However, this is still frozen solid, but I'm gonna try and break off a piece because they really are wanting some like chicken and rice soup. So that's what we're gonna do for that. But I just wanted to show you, that's just one of the kind of tricks that I'm doing now, just kind of help, so I always have something ready to go. And then I always have tea and lemonade in the fridge, and then we have our milk. So that's it. Very simple fridge. So for snacking today, I'm gonna whip up some muffins so that we just have some, because Theo, he loves mini muffins and all kind of muffins. I'm gonna start by making some oat flour, because mixing that with our wheat flour tends to make the baked goods rise really pretty and stay really soft. So I'm gonna go on and make the oat flour. And I'm gonna just pour that back in this jar, so I've got some already made for just whenever we need it. I don't have much wheat flour ground up right now, so this will probably end up being mostly oat flour, these muffins, but that's alright. I'll grind some more wheat tomorrow. I really need to get a funnel. I have a canning funnel. I guess I could use that. Alright, so our recipe calls for 1.5 cups of flour, but this is all the oat flour or wheat flour that I have. This is just hard white wheat berries. Let's see what I have in this. Well, I have a cup. That works. So it won't, it'll be mostly wheat flour. I'm gonna do 1.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna do 3/4 cup of sugar. It has a clump on it. 3/4 cup of sugar. Half a teaspoon of salt. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. And it calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, but I'm just gonna do about a 1/4 teaspoon. Actually even less, of vanilla bean powder. It's much stronger than like a vanilla extract. And then I'm just gonna stir all this up. This is all of our dry ingredients. And then for our wet ingredients, we're gonna do 1 egg. I'm also going to add a 1/2 cup of milk. Actually, I'm going to add just a tiny bit more. Whole wheat flour, freshly ground. It does soak up liquids more. And it also takes a little bit of time to soak up the liquids. So it might not look that thick, but then it thickens up as it sits. Okay, and then my recipe calls for 1/3 cup of oil, but I'm not using like vegetable oils or anything like that. You could do avocado oil. I've done it with coconut oil, but I'm just gonna do some butter today and just kind of get this going and stirred up here. Get this egg broken there. My favorite, I would say, in baked goods is coconut oil over, well, it's butter, and then it would be coconut oil over avocado oil, and I definitely do not like olive oil for that kind of thing. Alright, and this is actually my blueberry muffin recipe. So if I was making it into blueberry muffins, I would just add blueberries to this as well. But because I'm doing chocolate chip, I'm not going to make a crumb topping or any of that. I'm just going to add some chocolate chips in here. If this is too thick and I need to add a little bit more milk, I'll just add a little bit more milk. add just a little bit more milk. Just because, like I said, it thickens up as it sits because it's the fresh ground wheat. I think that looks good to me. That looks good. And then Thea wanted chocolate chip, so I'm gonna add chocolate chips here. These are just Enjoy Life chocolate chips. So they only have cacao, cocoa butter, and sugar. That's it. So they don't have a lot of extra stuff in them. I did order some on our Azure order, which I'll show you guys. We're supposed to pick it up on Monday. We'll see how that goes, because weather's going to be bad here. But I will share that with you guys then. Okay, so here I'm just going to take some butter. You could use oil, whatever you want. I'm just going to kind of butter my muffin tins. And then I'm going to bake these at 350 degrees until they're light brown on top. It usually takes about 15-20 minutes. Do these little baby ones too, because Theo likes the little baby ones. So I'm going to start with the baby ones, make sure I get those first. Charles has been running all morning. We're trying to get everything we need for the animals. We've got to get out and work with them, get everything ready for them. We had so much rain. We had a lot of flooding in our back. Just, I haven't seen this much rain in forever. Everything out here in this area is just getting flooded. So we've got to get those taken care of. Everybody taken care of, dry bedding and all of that kind of stuff before this really cold winter blast hits us starting tomorrow. It was freezing this morning when I did animals. Came in, I said, what is the temperature? Charles said, it's 20. I said, no way. I said, oh, wind chill, feels like 7. I said, that's about right. I had to boil water to open the chicken coop because it was all froze shut. Crazy morning. But we're just getting colder and colder. So what I like to do after I get these all done is I like to go back and just top them with a couple chocolate chips, which is why I don't put tons in the batter. Because like some of the mini ones, I don't think even got a chocolate chip in them. So I'm gonna just top them each a couple little chocolate chips. And that one got a lot. All right, I'm just gonna pop these in the oven now. Here are the muffins, all done. All right, so tonight I was going to make chicken and rice soup. However, the chicken's still frozen and this meat is defrosted. Just like a brothy vegetable soup with just a couple vegetables that I have here at the house. So I have my Dutch oven going, and then over here I'm also going to get this pot going for the soup. While we're waiting on the Dutch oven to heat, I'm going to add some olive oil to this pan and some olive oil to this pan. So for the soup, we're just going to use carrots and cabbage because that's just what I have ready to go, and then some of this turkey broth. And then I'm also going to have rice, and they can have rice to the soup if they want. And then I've got some garlic minced here and some onions diced. That's going to go with the Swiss steak. Then I'm also going to add some of our frozen tomatoes and frozen peppers from our garden to the Swiss steak as well. So overall, this is just a very simple dinner. I'm just going to saute this cabbage and carrots just a little bit before I add the broth. I'm going to add some salt to that. This is now ready for our cube steak. Hopping everywhere. I'm going to get that to brown. Not yet, but it's getting there. I'm going to add a little pepper to this broth as well. I mean to the vegetables for the stew. I love cabbage and carrots together. I think they're wonderful. I'm going to just flip this meat. I'm not trying to cook it. I'm just trying to brown it a little bit. Just kind of sear it. I have 8 pieces of cube steak to go. And then over here at the soup, I'm just going to add my broth. And I'm going to add a little bit of water to this. And that's it. I'm just going to let that go. Also, I just want to give my broth a taste. But most of it is, or this brothy soup, most of it though has been already seasoned. Because I made a really good turkey broth with lots of seasoning. Yeah, that doesn't need anything. It's pretty perfect. Garlic and my onions. Kind of scrape some of the bits off the bottom. I'm going to add some red wine. Kind of deglaze the pan. I'm also going to add some salt. I'm also going to add some of my frozen peppers. Some of our tomatoes. I'm going to add some more salt. I'm going to add some oregano, some basil, parsley. Just kind of stir that all together. I also want to add a little bit of balsamic vinegar. And that's about it for this. I'll let that cook down for just a minute, and then I'm going to add the meat back on top and pop it in the oven. Maybe I'll add the meat and just kind of cover it. Maybe that's put this on in here and that good, all that good stuff. Just kind of cuddle the meat in there. Alright, so then with that, I'm just getting a little more salt. And that's it. I'm going to cover this, and I'm going to put this in the oven now to bake. To this, I'm going to add just a little bit of turmeric. Just kind of help with the colds we're all having. And then I like just a tiny bit of a kick. This is Korean crushed red peppers. I'm going to add some of those in there as well. I would add a whole lot more if it was just me, but I can't add too much for the whole family. Alright, this is very good, so I'm going to let this just turn off. That's baking in the oven. So all I got left to do is make some rice, and then I'll show you guys dinner. Alright, so this is done, and let's see if I turn a light on for you guys. Smells divine, looks divine. Still got a little broth in there. And the rice is done. So perfect timing. So I'm just going to serve this up. And I'll show you how easy dinner is tonight. Let's see if you guys can see here. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching and joining us today. It means so much to us. And hopefully you guys try some of this recipes here. They are so delicious. Now we still get a little taste of summer, even in the winter. And that's it. That's our super simple dinner tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are. And I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow with a Azure Standard shopping haul.